Hey Bruin fans, want to go behind the scenes with your favorite teams and athletes? How about getting exclusive merch and opportunities to enter sweepstakes like sideline access at the Rose Bowl? Introducing Blue and Gold Society, UCLA Athletics fan membership program created to support Bruin student athletes. Members receive benefits like exclusive gear, videos featuring insider stories, and incredible experiences courtesy of UCLA Athletics. Sign up today at blueandgoldsociety.com.
Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving Eve. We are doing it live right here, doing more at 4, right after the amazing Guy Benson at 3, and just before the 790 KBC News Blitz with Randy Wang at 5. Mottek On Money, live on the air right here, 790 KBC, streaming live online worldwide at kbc.com, and your on-demand Mottek On Money podcast, kbc.com, Apple iTunes, YouTube, all of your favorite podcast platforms. Much to be thankful for on Wall Street and on Main Street, and hopefully your street here in Southern California. The stock market extending an impressive rally for the fourth trading day today in a row, and on this Thanksgiving Eve with tech stocks leading the charge. The Dow closed up 315 points today, the S&P 500 at 47, and the NASDAQ gained 189, with Google parent company Alphabet and Broadcom renewing interest in the AI trade recently, along with growing expectations now that the Fed might play Santa Claus next month and cut the Fed's benchmark short-term interest rate by another quarter percentage point. Cryptos have rebounded in the past couple of days, with Bitcoin back above 90,000 after hitting 80K last week. Gold also getting a boost, now around 4,200, and silver is at or near record highs, near $54 an ounce. I'll discuss the latest market moves with the top tech analyst these days, Daniel Ives, Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research at Wedbush Securities, will be joining us live later this hour. By the way, he's also chairman of 8Go Holdings, also known as Orbs, a company that's adopted a strategy of acquiring the cryptocurrency WorldCoin as its primary treasury asset. The Dow came in for a closing gain of 315 points today, settling at 47,427. The S&P 500 at 47 points at 6,813, and the NASDAQ up 189 points to 23,215. The volatility index taking a breather today, down 7%. Gold right now hovering just below 4,200 at 4,199, down $3.20. Silver had a shining day today, up 20 cents here at the moment at $53.81 an ounce. Silver and gold, to quote Burl Ives, very popular, of course, over the holidays, so back in focus here. The price of oil slipping 15 cents at $58.50. Bitcoin in the spotlight after that big washout. Up about 500 here at 90,411. Ethereum, ETH as it's also known, at 3,025. Silver, or rather Solana, that is, at 143. Doge at the moment at 15 cents. Once again, an impressive rally over the past 4 trading sessions, setting the market nicely higher. But it looks like for the month of November, the market has still come under pressure. The holidays are a time of celebration and music. And later this hour, I'll be speaking live with attorney Gary Greene, also known as Maestro Gary Greene, conductor of the L.A. Lawyers Philharmonic Orchestra and legal voices, a philharmonic and choral group made up of L.A. area judges and lawyers. They'll be performing at a fabulous fall concert with a special tribute to the late great actress June Lockhart, who was a big fan of the L.A. Lawyers Philharmonic. June Lockhart, best known for playing the mom in the TV show Lassie. Also, she was on Lost in Space and Petticoat Junction. She departed last month at the age of 100. In just a moment, we'll be speaking live to the one and only Rick Caruso to kick off the holiday season after a spectacular start to the holiday season at the Grove last week. We'll be joined by Rick Caruso here in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and continue here in just a moment on Mottek On Money on 790 KBC. Mottek On Money continues. An annual holiday tradition continues here on this radio program for the start of the holiday season on this Thanksgiving Eve, for which I'm tremendously grateful Joining us live now is Rick Caruso, Los Angeles business and civic leader, master entrepreneur, philanthropist, developer of some of the most popular places in Southern California right now, where Santa's helpers are already getting busy. Places like The Grove, Americana at Brand, Commons of Calabasas, Rosewood Miramar Hotel, and he's at the forefront of the firestorm recovery effort in the Palisades, including Palisades Village, Malibu, and Altadena. With his leadership of Steadfast LA, it's hard to believe, by the way, we're approaching the one-year anniversary of the devastating firestorms. I have to say, at every business event I've attended recently, people are eager to know if Rick Caruso will run for LA mayor or maybe California governor at this critical time for the city and the state. Rick Caruso, thank you very much for taking the call here this afternoon.
Thank you, Frank. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me on the show.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve, and we have this conversation on the start of the holiday season, which got off to a spectacular start, I must say, at the Grove last week, and it was a great TV special that aired on the Fox 11 last night. I want to get your thoughts on the start of the holiday season, but so much going on, and big topic of conversation right off the bat. Let me ask you, have you made a decision? Is it going to be mayor, governor, or maybe both?
I haven't made a decision yet, but I'm coming down to land the ship very soon. So I'll be making an announcement soon. But I do want to go back, if you don't mind, to the Christmas show at the Grove and it was great seeing you there. It was a great night. It actually airs again tonight at 8:00 on Channel 11. But what I really loved about the show, in addition to the great entertainment, is it supported an incredible organization named Strive, which is working with inner city kids who are at or below the poverty line down in Watts and South LA, and doing God's work down there in terms of giving them the education, the support, the tutoring, the mentoring that they need, and they're taking kids all the way from grammar school through college. So it was a great night and for a great cause.
That's so wonderful. And again, your philanthropy is absolutely amazing. And I know you have a heart for the children especially. And there were so many that were at the Grove enjoying the beautiful music and the show there. And looks like the holiday season certainly getting off to a spectacular start there. Tell us what's happening there at the Grove and your other properties this holiday season. And what's the outlook for business this holiday season?
Well, I'm optimistic about it. Just seeing the traffic numbers that we've seen so far since the tree lightings. You know, we had the tree lighting out at Americana on Monday night, obviously the Grove, and then out at Westlake, Promenade at Westlake. But all the properties are performing very, very strongly. Attendance is up. I think we're going to have a strong season. I think retailers are going to have a strong season throughout the region. Retailers that are good at what they do, obviously, and know how to satisfy the customer. But the consumer confidence continues to remain strong. I think that's going to convert into good retail sales. So I'm optimistic. And if we add a little nice weather like we've had the last couple of days, that's fantastic for shopping too. So I'm really hoping that a lot of our small businesses throughout LA, independent restaurants, really benefit from the holiday season. And it's been a tough year for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And so I really hope our small businesses come through this strong and make some money.
What's happening at Palisades Village? Tell us what's happening there with the reopening planned, right, and some new places there, and, of course, the ongoing rebuilding of that entire area, the entire Palisades Village, Malibu, and you're also involved in the rebuilding of Altadena. Give us an update on what's happening.
Sure. Well, in fact, my wife and I just went up to Palisades and we walked the village. So we're getting ready to reopen. We're going to be reopened on next August, but with some great retailers and great restaurateurs, like we announced. Nancy Silverton is doing an Italian steakhouse with us up there, and she'll be opened up in August. So it's going to be better than ever. That had to be the standard. We're going to open up stronger. We're going to open up with even better retailers and restaurateurs that serve the community. But what's really exciting, and I have to tell you, I got a little emotional driving by it today. The Christmas tree is up in the Palisades. The lawn is back in the park. And we very intentionally are going to celebrate the holidays. We have a menorah lighting that's going to be coming up like we do annually. And we have our Christmas tree lighting, which is on December 6th at 5:30. And the community, everybody is welcome. We've got a great community-based event. And I think it's important for the community to come together, and celebrate the holidays. So it's going to be probably a little emotional, but I think there's also going to be a lot of joy. And, of course, I think the Palisades, I wish it was building back quicker. I wish our local government was doing more. There's a few homes going up, which is good to see, but we've got to give more support to the residents so they can get under construction quickly and get moved back into that community. But we're doing a lot out there. Out at Altadena, we've given away 5 homes to people who are in desperate need of homes, who can't afford their own home, and we've got more homes coming. So,
Bruin fans, fall is finally here. That means UCLA football is back in your life. Head out to the Rose Bowl to enjoy America's best tailgating and to make more unforgettable memories with the Bruins. Nico Iamaleava and the Bruins are ready to make an impact this year, and we need you cheering them at the Rose Bowl. Visit UCLABruins.com or call 310-UCLA-WIN to lock in your tickets today. 310-UCLA-WIN.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Strahan, and St. Jude has been close to my heart for many years. Their groundbreaking research is changing how the world treats childhood cancer and has helped push the survival rate in the U.S. from 20% to more than 80%. Please help St. Jude give children the greatest gift, a chance at a lifetime.
This holiday, help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Donate now at musicgives.org.
Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling take you behind the scenes of one of the greatest shows of all time.
They're Ultimate Rewatch Podcast. We're in the midst of season 7. And
hold on. Obviously, we had a very successful television show for 10 years that was Superman based.
But we had to make everyone believe that you were Clark.
I gotta be honest, I was surprised at the end of this episode that I wasn't.
I was too!
Talkville, the Smallville Rewatch Podcast.
I'm not sure I knew when I was filming it that I was not me.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
But we're going to be announcing those in the next week or so, which is very, very exciting and rewarding.
On the Air Live with Rick Caruso, I want to get your reaction to what's happened over the past couple of days with that big announcement out of the mayor's office talking about the first rebuild of a home in the Palisades. But it turns out that that house had received permits before the firestorm last November and was heralded as the first rebuild there in the Palisades. What's your reaction to what's happened over the last week?
You know, I think honestly, I'm just excited about homes coming out of the ground. And that's a Thomas James home. They're going to have an open house for it. My view on it is I think it's great that there's homes coming up. And I know the mayor's office and the mayor tried to spin it into something that would benefit her. And if that's what she wants to do, that's fine. But to me, what's really important is let's get government working for everybody so people can get their jobs back, get businesses reopened, get homes rebuilt. You know, it's been almost a year and people are desperately hurting. And people are still out of work. They used to work in these communities in Altadena and the Palisades. And we got to give them more support. That's why at Steadfast, we've had these business grants that we're giving small businesses to help get them reopen and then to stay open so they can employ people. And that's critically important. I just wish the county and the city and the state and the federal government were doing more. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have been impacted by it, and our regional economy has been impacted by it. And the federal government hasn't been doing anything. And that's a shame, and really shame on them for not stepping up and helping people in these disaster zones in Malibu and Altadena and the Palisades.
Well, certainly a lot of people are grateful for what you're doing with Steadfast LA to accelerate the redevelopment. I can't help but think of the days after the Northridge earthquake, and you, of course, were here back in those days under Mayor Richard J. Reardon, coming off the disastrous Northridge earthquake, and a very accelerated and aggressive rebuilding took place at that time. Very critical infrastructure all over the place got damaged. And remember that guy from the state, that Office of Emergency Services, he was on the air all the time, and it seemed like a much more aggressive and coordinated recovery back in those days. What's it going to take to achieve something like that this time around?
You know, it's a great comment, Frank, because I was thinking back. You know, I was very fortunate. I served 3 mayors. I served under Tom Bradley as a commissioner, under Dick Reardon as a commissioner, and under Jim Hahn. And I really saw what good management was, what the good American do in making decisions and moving the city forward. And as you were talking about, Dick Reardon, there was the projection of having to spend a year to rebuild the 10 freeway, the Santa Monica Freeway. And he said that's not quick enough and got it done in 63 days. We need that same kind of management. We need the same kind of leadership. We need that same kind of attitude that finds ways to get things done and knows how to get things done. And so I wish we had more of that in the city and the county. But, I think the force and the good nature and the strength of these communities, in spite of the weakness of our leadership, is going to bring these communities back. So I'm betting on the people. I would never bet against them. And these communities will come back, and they'll come back strong.
In the course of your philanthropy in the fire areas, you've been amazing in all of this, and it's hard to believe that all those homes were destroyed, businesses destroyed, and certainly it's having a big impact on the economy. When you come face to face with the firestorm victims and the children, and many of these people have become homeless or have already left the area, what are some of the memorable moments that you've experienced that you can share with us? And as we express our gratitude to you for all of your important work.
There's so many dear, good people, that are impacted and are hurting, to your point, Frank. And meeting them, they're grateful. There's a sense of gratitude, whether you help them with a business grant, giving the homes in Altadena and meeting the families and spending time with the families. There's such a dearness to them, and they're so grateful, and they're not angry. They miss their home. They miss their community, as they should, as we all do. But they're looking forward to the future. And that's the strength of our region and our city, is looking forward to the future. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together. More people need to lean in and help the people that have been impacted, for sure. There's a lot of good people doing work out there, but all of us can be doing more and help these people along, because after a year, there's just too many people left behind. Today, I was at St. Monica's. They're giving out food for Thanksgiving meals, but they also had a store for clothing and shoes, and they were giving free haircuts and medical care. And it wasn't just for people who were homeless. The people that I saw in that crowd, Frank, are hardworking people that are just struggling to survive, because it's been so expensive to survive in this region, to put food on the table. And I really compliment St. Monica's and Monsignor Lori Torgerson. 46 years they've been doing this. And we need to be doing more of that to support people. And many of the people that lost their homes, unfortunately, have the risk of being homeless. And we just can't allow that to happen.
On the Air Live with Rick Caruso. And any other thoughts about, and by the way, it was very touching when you thanked the firefighters at the Grove, and again on that TV special tonight, Rick Caruso. Certainly we can't say thank you enough to all the first responders that were involved in that horrific firestorm this year.
Yeah, our first responders, our police, our firemen, fire fighters, our paramedics, just incredible people that put their lives at risk. They continue to do it every day. We ask way too much of them and don't give them as much as we should. We need to give them more resources. But it's a really good thing to think about tomorrow, as we're giving our thanks, to thank those people that when we need them, they come running towards us and help us. And really, God bless all of the people that were working in these regions during the firestorm, and they're doing it now, every day. We've got a lot of things to fix in this city. There's a lot of broken people on our streets that need help, and we need to give them our help. And, of course, our paramedics are the first responders to many of the people on the streets that are either drug addicted, have severe illness, mental illness, or whatnot, and we need to be praying for them and help them to get off the streets and get a better life.
Rick Caruso, thank you very much. We wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas, and wish everyone at all your beautiful places a very wonderful holiday season. And So grateful to you for all you're doing and your leadership on the Steadfast LA front, leading the rebuilding efforts in all of these places. Rick Caruso, thank you very, very much for joining us live here this afternoon.
Thank you, Frank. You're the best, and we're grateful and thankful for you. So thank you for being the voice of Los Angeles. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you very, very much. Rick Caruso live with us here on 790 KABC. Mottek On Money continues here, 790 KABC. Turning now to Wall Street, a pretty decent pre-Thanksgiving rally, with the market extending an impressive rally for the fourth trading day in a row on this Thanksgiving Eve. Tech names led the charge. The Dow came in for a closing gain of 315 points, the S&P 500 of 47, and the Nasdaq popped another 189 points. Bitcoin also on the rebound, above 90,000 now. It was around 80,000 just about, a week ago. Ethereum is also now above 3,000 again. Doge has recovered to 15 cents. The price of gold, meanwhile, is close to 4,200, and silver is at or near record highs, right now hovering near $54 an ounce. Joining us live now, the top tech analyst, Daniel Ives, Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research at Wedbush Securities. He's also chairman of ACO Holdings, also known as Orbs, a company that has adopted a strategy of acquiring the cryptocurrency WorldCoin as its primary treasury asset. Dan Ives, thank you very much for taking the call here this afternoon.
Great to be here.
Wonderful to have you with us.
Frank.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you, and a lot to unpack here with this rally. Give us your reaction to this nice move on the upside we've seen over the last four trading sessions now.
I mean, I think, look, this is a risk on, right? And we talked about it last week on your show. I think the sell-off relative to AI was short-lived. And also, I think it's also now the Fed chances of a rate cut in December much more likely. And I think that's all playing out. I think last week was a scare, but a near-term one that I think you buy tech stocks on that.
On there live with Daniel Ives at Wedbush. And what about that crypto move? A lot of people talking about that. It was pretty ugly with Bitcoin at around 80K, now suddenly back up to 90K. What's your outlook on the cryptos here?
Look, I think on that, I mean, that's also a deleveraging that I think is taking place, in terms of crypto. I think the deleveraging is happening on crypto. And to me, I think that's just more of a digestion. I still think this is 100,000 Bitcoin by year end. That's my view in terms of what's happening. It's called a mini crypto winter that took place.
Is the winter over?
I think winter's over. I mean, at least, I think it's, it could be sunny in 85. I'm not saying that there can't be some speed bumps between now and then, but it's like I said, I think this is a consolidation. You saw a deleveraging, but it's not the end of this crypto bull market. It's like I said, by next year, 150 to 200K.
All right, we're looking at NVIDIA. It certainly hit a downdraft recently. And what about the Magnificent One here, hovering at around 180 here at last check?
Look, there's one chip in the world fueling the AI revolution. It's NVIDIA. And I think, you go back to the scares about AI bubble and everything we're seeing. I mean, look, we're still early days in terms of this all playing out. And I think, whether it's AI bubble, Google, obviously, with some of their chips and worries that that's going to impede on NVIDIA, I disagree. I mean, right now, demand and supply is 12 to 1 for NVIDIA chips. When that's happening, that's not a bubble. We're still early days. Like I told you, this AI party started at 9 p.m. It's now 10:30 p.m. Goes to 4 a.m. But I'm not saying in that time DJ doesn't stop playing music. There's glass in the dance floor. Maybe cops come, break up the party for loud music. Party goes to 4 a.m. and the bears will watch the party from the outside through the window.
And then you or I say, yo, DJ, pump this party, and then it'll get going again. Now, what about some of the names like Alphabet, Google, which hit record highs just in the last – Apple also at a record high here. And even Dell has come to life all of a sudden. Haven't mentioned Dell in years. What are your thoughts about some of these other tech names here?
Alphabet's one of our favorites. I mean, remember, look, you go back to earlier this year, New York City cab drivers bearish on Google. Right? I mean, in terms of fearing that AI is going to ruin their business model. I just disagreed, and I think you're starting to see that. They were on the defensive, now on the offensive. It's not just about the chips. It's about where they play in terms of search, where they play in terms of cloud. And some of the parts, I think it's call it $375, $400 stock. You look at Apple, quietly all-time highs. This is even before AI started, right? And I think ultimately they're going to really partner with Google when it comes to Gemini. You look at names like Dell. Look, derivative names that are playing.
Bruin fans, fall is finally here. That means UCLA football is back in your life. Head out to the Rose Bowl to enjoy America's best tailgating and to make more unforgettable memories with the Bruins. Nico Iamaleava and the Bruins are ready to make an impact this year, and we need you cheering them at the Rose Bowl. Visit UCLABruins.com or call 310-UCLA-WIN to lock in your tickets today. 310-UCLA-WIN.
Hey y'all, it's Lainey Wilson. St. Jude gives kids with cancer the chance they deserve. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food. But we can't help these kids without you.
This holiday, help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Donate now at musicgives.org.
What's up, guys? David Pollack here, former Georgia Bulldog, former analyst with College Game Day, and host of my new show, See Ball, Get Ball. I'm a defensive lineman. That's why that's the name. You see the ball, you go get it. We're going to dive deep into college football. We're going to break down film. We'll have bold takes, real conversations with the biggest names in the sport every single week. If you eat, sleep, and breathe college football like I do, man, I promise you, See Ball, Get Ball is for you. So do me a favor. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Not because of AI. I mean, I think that, look, Frank, that's a theme. Second, third, fourth derivative are going to start to play out across tech, when it comes to AI revolution. And that's going to be very bullish for this tech market.
All right, you've done a lot of writing about Tesla this year. Tesla getting a nice pop today at more than 7, back to 426 and change. What do we need to know about that one?
Look, Tesla, I continue to view this as, it's about autonomous and robotics. I mean, that's going to be the next stage for Tesla. Now Musk pay package secured. We think that could ultimately be, $1 trillion for autonomous alone. And I think as this all plays out, I think investors are underestimating, along with NVIDIA, the best physical AI play in the world, NVIDIA and then Tesla.
I have to get you over to that cool Tesla diner I visited for the first time when you're back in town here. A very, very cool place, and they might be building some more of those around the country. The first one is right here in Los Angeles. What about Oracle, which made Larry Ellison the wealthiest guy in the world, even above Elon Musk for a minute earlier this year, right? We see Oracle back above $200 a share.
Yeah, and I think, look, Oracle is one. It's sold off hard because of what worries about too big to fail, OpenAI, some of those issues. I think it's a table pounder name along with Meta, Oracle, and I think Microsoft. Those are ones that have sold off significantly, and I think way overdone relative to just how important Oracle is going to play in terms of this AI revolution build out and the stack and where they are. But Frank, haters hate. It's the reality, right? Like, in other words, this is the market that's going to continue to have chops. But like I've said, I mean, it's 3 to 4 trillion being spent over the next few years.
On the air live with the familiar voice, Daniel Ives, Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research at Wedbush. What about 8Go here, also known as Orbs, as we try to figure out if we're talking to a human or AI these days? What do we need to know about Orbs?
Human proof authentication. That's going to be a key layer in this AI build out. It's everything we're doing at Orbs and 8Co, along with Sam Altman as part of World. I think more and more enterprises, this is the level of adoption that they're going to have to do, because human proof authentication, it's part of the authentication layer, because it speaks. It's not just about NVIDIA. It's not just about what we're seeing in terms of the data center build out, it's going to be layers, software, authentication. These are going to be key pieces going forward.
On there live with Daniel Ives, and a lot of write-ups over the past week, given this market downdraft and now rebound. Crypto versus gold. Gold has held it pretty well, actually, in the last week or so, and right now is back around 4,200. Silver kissing record highs here at around $54 an ounce. Where do you weigh in on digital gold versus analog gold?
I'd rather own crypto than gold, but bullish on gold too, especially with Hassett, that's going to be next Fed chair, dovish. You're going to see significant cuts over the next 3-4 quarters, as you see them come in, and that's going to be bullish for gold. I think gold, you're going to see a significant uptick in gold, I think, as we go into next year. And that's the theme, you're going to have these periods where you're going to have these sell-offs, but those are not time to panic. You got to be like Mottek on the beach, drinking a nice latte, maybe something a little nicer going into Thanksgiving, nice glass of wine. It's not the time to worry.
Nouveau Beaujolais or maybe even a Frosé if it warms up a little bit. So we'll introduce you to that next time you're here. You mentioned a very key piece of news that seems to have accelerated the market rally this week, and that is the report that Kevin Hassett apparently has come up to the top of the list here as the person that will likely replace Fed Chairman Jerome Powell next year. Kevin Hassett, currently director of the National Economic Council of the United States, one of President Trump's top economic advisors. Is in fact the market cheering Kevin Hassett at this point?
Yes, definitely. I mean, Hassett would be bullish, right? I mean, he's dovish. Looks like we probably get that in the next few weeks. And also you're going to get a Fed cut in December. And it's all part of this narrative that's playing out. And that's why you've seen the market, rebound significantly in the last, the last few days, especially this last week.
Just talked to Rick Caruso, the giant on the LA business scene with all the most popular shopping destinations here. He seems to be very bullish on the holiday season as we kick things off here this Thanksgiving weekend. What about the retailers here?
Yeah, retailers, look, I mean, obviously it could be a little softer year over year, but I think it's going to be a pretty good environment for retailers, although you could see it softer in some areas, and that's why consumer continues to be under a little pressure.
Terrific. Daniel Ives, thank you very much. We'll let you get on with
Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll, and again, this is, I think, the start of what's going to be probably a tech rally into year-end. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving. Daniel Ives, Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research, Wedbush Securities, which happens to be headquartered right here in Southern California. Daniel Ives, also Chairman of 8Co Holdings, also known as Orbs, a company that's adopted the strategy of acquiring the cryptocurrency WorldCoin as its primary treasury asset. Live with us here on Mottek On Money on 790 KABC. Mottek On Money continues. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. The holidays, a time for celebration and music. And joining us now, attorney Gary Greene, also known as Maestro Gary Greene, Esquire, conductor of the LA Lawyers Philharmonic and Legal Voices, a wonderful philharmonic and choral group made up of Los Angeles area judges and attorneys. They'll be together again performing a fabulous fall concert with a special tribute to the late great actress June Lockhart, who was a big fan of the LA Lawyers Philharmonic, attended many of the performances. June Lockhart, known for playing the mom in the TV show Lassie. She was also on Lost in Space, one of my favorites, and Petticoat Junction. June Lockhart departed last month at the age of 100. Joining us live now, Maestro Gary Greene. Maestro, thank you very much for taking the call here this afternoon.
Well, Frank, it's a real pleasure to share some wonderful things about both June Lockhart and the program we have scheduled. We're playing our fabulous fall concert on Saturday evening, December 6th in Santa Monica. It's a 7:30 begin concert, and it's a variety program, something for everybody of all ages, featuring works by Mozart. We're doing his Requiem, which will include our orchestra and chorus, and we're also doing Schubert's Unfinished Symphony. And this is a special year. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the motion picture Sound of Music. So we are going to be playing some of the favorite selections from that music as well. And there'll be other treats on this program. And we invite all of you to attend. Tickets are available anywhere from $20 to $90, and it's very easy to get them by going to fabulousconcert.eventbrite.com. Eventbrite is BRITE.com, and tickets will be available. But this is something we do. As you know, Frank, our orchestra is unique and unusual. People don't think of lawyers and judges in a music sense. They obviously know us in court, and they know us doing all kinds of work, but not music. What we have with our orchestra is a unique group of real musicians. Our members went to the conservatories, you name it, from Juilliard to New England, to San Francisco, to Cleveland Institute, to Thornton School of Music here at USC. They went to these conservatories, and their passion was music, and their intent was to become professional musicians. Somewhere along the way, they decided they better make a living, and they went to law school. So what we have here are real musicians who happen to be lawyers and judges.
An absolutely wonderful group. And tell us how it all started to put together this amazing group. And I've had the honor of attending many of the performances over many, many years, the Los Angeles Lawyers Philharmonic and Legal Voices. Tell us how you organized all of this, and tell us about some of the history of this amazing group.
Sure. I'm a musician. I studied violin from the time I was about 11 years old. And that was my interest and career, too. But then I went on to law school like all of the others. I said I can't be the only lawyer in town that's a musician. So about 17, 18 years ago, I put the word out in the legal papers and the bar associations that if you're a musician and you're an attorney or a judge or legal staff, contact us and we'll see if we can put an orchestra together. Within a week, I had more than 100 responses. And that's when I realized these were not just people that played instruments when they were maybe in school. These were real musicians because I saw the conservatories that they went to. That's how it all got started. A couple of years later, I received words from a number of other attorneys telling me, gee, we like what you're doing, but we don't play instruments, we sing. Gave me the idea. We formed a chorus. So we have a chorus of 100 called Legal Voices, and we have an orchestra of 75 members. Then came something else. We performed for the Radio Television News Association's Golden Mike Awards for a few years. And one year I was told, we don't have enough room for a full orchestra there. Can we cut down the size? So I gave that some thought, and I said, wait a second. How about a different group? How about a big band, something that goes back to the Glenn Miller days where you had 18 musicians playing jazz, playing big band music. That's when I formed that one. So we have three groups, and they're all very successful. The big band has played in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and the Chicago Art Institute. The orchestra won a gold medal in the New York's competition for international radio. And we've done a lot of interesting things, including recordings.
That is so wonderful. And now we can look forward to the fabulous fall concert, Mozart to the Sound of Music, with a special tribute to June Lockhart, who, by the way, was on the board of directors of the Radio Television News Association, an absolutely amazing lady. And I know you are very close friends with June Lockhart, and everybody loves June Lockhart. Tell us about the tribute that you'll be giving her at the upcoming concert.
Well, we're dedicating the concert to her. We were very close friends. About 10 years ago, we came up with the concept, we want to do something special for June, and we spoke about this all the time. We formed an award, which became part of our anniversary concerts. And the award is the June Lockhart Humanitarian Award. We presented to her first in 2015, and each year that after, we discussed who it was going to. So this was something very special to her and to us. So the long name of the award is June Lockhart Humanitarian Award, but we call it the Junie. And the next year we gave it to songwriter Richard Sherman. Then we gave it to a few actors like Ed Asner and Hal Linden. And about 6 years ago, we gave it to a unique person, Selma Moydell Smith, who was a composer and a musician. And we're dedicating this concert also. She passed away a couple of months ago as well. But it'll be a tremendous program for all ages. So hopefully all can attend.
That is so wonderful, and again, you command a tremendous respect in the legal profession as well as in the musical world, having organized all of this, and it's amazing, really, to at your other events at Disney Hall and other magnificent venues to see all of these attorneys and judges, even the Supreme Court justices, right, from the state of California involved there, loving being on stage and playing music.
That's true. The most recent recipient of the June Lockhart Award was the Honorable Arthur Gilbert, presiding justice of the California Court of Appeal. He is an amazing jazz pianist, and he's our key person in our big band.
That is quite remarkable. That is quite remarkable. So I hope everyone heard this, and will mark their calendars for the fabulous fall concert, Mozart to the Sound of Music, as the holiday season gets underway here. Saturday, December 6th, 7:30 p.m. at the John Adams Performing Arts Center, right? That's in Santa Monica?
That's it, right across the street from Santa Monica College and adjacent to John Adams School.
Well, thank you very, very much, Gary Greene, for all you do. Gary Greene, Esquire, Maestro Gary Greene, who is conductor of the Los Angeles Lawyers Philharmonic and Legal Voices, a philharmonic and choral group made up of Los Angeles area judges and attorneys, and, of course, all very musically inclined. Maestro, thank you very much for joining us live. We wish you and everyone there a very happy Thanksgiving.
A real pleasure, Frank, and a happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Very grateful to you. Thank you very, very much, Gary Greene. We have a winner on Wall Street heading into the Thanksgiving holiday break. We'll have a shortened trading session on Friday, but what a week it's been. And the Dow up 315 today, S&P 500 up 47, and the NASDAQ up 189. Volatility index giving back 7%. Gold at $4,199. Silver near its record high, just below $54 an ounce. Bitcoin at $90,000. 790 KBC.
Hey, Bruin fans, want to go behind the scenes with your favorite teams and athletes? How about getting exclusive merch and opportunities to enter sweepstakes like sideline access at the Rose Bowl? Introducing Blue and Gold Society, UCLA Athletics fan membership program created to support Bruin student athletes. Members receive benefits like exclusive gear, videos featuring insider stories, and incredible experiences courtesy of UCLA Athletics. Sign up today at blueandgoldsociety.com.